You know, one thing a lot of people get wrong about the Philippines is thinking it's just one big island. Often when you look at a world map, especially if it's a small one, our country might look like it's just one whole piece of land. But that's not true at all. The Philippines is actually not just one island, but a huge group of islands called an archipelago. Just imagine, a group of thousands of islands, and each one has its own special beauty and story. So, how many islands are we talking about? Well, the latest count says the Philippines has over 7,641 islands. Yes, you heard that right. More than 7,000 islands make up our country. That's a huge number, and it really shows we are a nation of the sea. Every single one of these islands, from the biggest ones to the tiny ones that look like just a dot in the ocean, has something special about it. These islands are usually grouped into three main areas: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Luzon, where our capital city Manila is the biggest island and has the most people. You'll also find tall mountains there like the Cordilleras and big flat plains. It's a center for business, schools and government, but it's also full of natural wonders and historic spots just waiting for you to discover. Then, after Luzon, we have the Visayas, right in the heart of our islands. It's made up of hundreds of smaller islands like Cebu, Bohol, Panay, Negros, Samar, and Leyte. This area is famous for its beautiful white sand beaches, amazing places to go diving, and super colorful festivals. Every island in the Visayas is like a jewel, offering something different, like swimming with whale sharks or finding old churches in the Chocolate Hills. And then down south we have Mindanao. It's the second biggest island and people call it the Land of Promise. It's home to so many different cultures, including many native groups and Muslim Filipinos. Mindanao also has amazing fruits you might not find anywhere else, tall waterfalls and mountains full of different kinds of plants and animals. Even though some parts have challenges, Mindanao has so much to offer for visitors and for growing as a place. Being a country of many islands doesn't just shape our land, it also shapes our culture, our languages, and how we live. The sea isn't something that separates us. It's like a road that connects all our people. Think about the fishermen who go out on the waves every day, or the boatmen who take tourists and locals from one island to another. Water is a big part of who we are. So, the next time someone tells you the Philippines is just one island, you'll know what to say. Gap 2S. It's not just one big piece of land, it's like a collection of thousands of beautiful pearls scattered in the Pacific Ocean. Every island is like an invitation, a new page in the story of the Philippines, just waiting for us to explore and appreciate. All these different islands are what make our country so rich and special. Understanding that we're a country of many islands is really important to understand the Philippines better. It's the reason we have so many different plants and animals, so many different cultures, and even why our history is the way it is. So remember, it's not just one island, but over 7,000 reasons to be amazed and to explore our beloved country. This is the first myth. Busted. The Philippines is an amazing group of islands, an archipelago. Another piece of wrong information we often hear is the belief that only one language is spoken in the whole Philippines, and that this language is Tagalog. Now, while Filipino, which is based on Tagalog, is our national language, the language seen in the Philippines is much more complex and richer than that. Just imagine, with over 7,000 islands, it's only natural that we also have so many languages and dialects. The Philippines is home to about 187 separate languages and dialects, according to studies by language experts. This really shows our rich history of people moving from place to place, trading, and different groups of people interacting as they settled on our islands. Every region, every province, and sometimes even every town can have its own unique way of speaking. While Filipino, our national language, is taught in schools and used for countrywide communication, many other regional languages are widely used as the main language in their own areas. These include Cebuano, spoken by millions of Filipinos, especially in the Visayas and some parts of Mindanao. It's the second biggest language in the country based on how many people speak it. And let's not forget Ilocano, the main language in northern Luzon, which is also used by many Filipinos who have moved to other countries. Then there's Hiligaynon or Ilonggo in western Visayas, Bicolano in the Bicol region, which is known for its different types, Waray-Waray in eastern Visayas, Kapampangan in Pampanga, and Pangasinense in Pangasinan. These are just some of the major regional languages that have a deep history and culture. Having many languages doesn't mean we're divided, instead it shows how rich our culture is. Many Filipinos grow up speaking 2 or more languages. They're used to using their local language, Filipino, and even English, which is also one of our official languages and is widely used in education, business, and government. This ability to speak many languages is a big advantage. Each language holds a special way of seeing the world, along with the stories, traditions, and knowledge of the people who speak it. When a language dies, a part of our shared heritage disappears with it. That's why it's so important to try to keep and encourage the use of our local languages at the same time as we promote our national language. In the markets, in homes, at celebrations, you'll hear the different sounds and accents of our fellow Filipinos. From the sweet tones of the Ilonggos to the fast way some Tagalog speakers talk, each one adds to the colorful mix of our language identity. This is proof that being Filipino isn't just one single thing, but is made of many parts and includes everyone. So it's clear that the idea that Tagalog is the only language in the Philippines is a big myth. Our country is a paradise of many languages, where each language is like a thread weaving the blanket of our national identity. Respecting and valuing all our languages is how we recognize the richness of our people. This is the second myth, busted. The Philippines is a country rich in different languages. When you think of the Philippines, you probably picture beautiful beaches, sparkly blue water, and sunshine all the time, right? So it's no wonder many people think our country is always hot and sunny all year long. But just like a lot of things, the weather here in the Philippines has its own little changes and differences that are good to know about. It's true we have what they call a tropical maritime climate. That usually means it's warm and a bit sticky or humid most of the year. The temperature is usually around 25 to 32 degrees Celsius. That's why our country is super perfect for trips to the beach and doing fun stuff outside. But that doesn't mean it's all sunshine all the time. Our weather is mostly split into 2 main seasons, the dry season, which is like summer, and the rainy season. The dry season usually goes from March to May. That's when it's the hottest and driest. This is when lots of tourists come, especially to our beaches. But then, from about June to November, we get into the rainy season. The rainy season comes with something called the Southwest Monsoon, or habagat. This brings rain often, and sometimes it's really heavy, especially on the west side of the country. During this time, even though we still get sunny days, there's a bigger chance for cloudy skies and, well, rain. This is a really important time for our farmers because the rain helps all our plants grow. Now, besides the usual rainy season, the Philippines is also in a place called the Pacific Typhoon Belt. That means about 20 typhoons pass by us every year. Some of them can be super strong and cause a lot of damage. These typhoons usually start in the Pacific Ocean and hit our islands, especially places like eastern Visayas, Bicol, and northern Luzon. Typhoons bring strong winds and lots of rain, which can cause floods and landslides. This is a big deal and we get ready for it every year. Our government and people in our towns have plans to be ready and help out when disasters happen. Filipinos are really strong when these things happen. It's amazing. But it also reminds us that living where we do has its challenges. And guess what? The weather isn't the same all over the Philippines. Some places like Baguio City and other spots high up in the Cordillera Mountains are cooler than the flatlands. Baguio is even called the summer capital of the Philippines. People love to go there for the cool air, especially when it's super hot everywhere else. This just shows that even within our country, the weather can be pretty different from place to place. So thinking that the Philippines is always hot and sunny is just making it too simple. Yes, we do get lots of sunshine, which is great, but we also have rainy seasons, typhoons to watch out for, and different temperatures in different parts of the country. Gap 2S. Knowing all this is important for everyone who lives here and especially for tourists who are planning a visit. This is the third myth, busted. The Philippines has tropical weather, yes, but it's also full of variety. Chapter 4. Myth number 4. Is there just one Filipino identity? The mistaken idea that all Filipinos are the same. Often when people say Filipino, what comes to mind for some is a single picture, a certain look, a certain way of acting. But the truth is, being Filipino is as diverse as our thousands of islands and hundreds of languages. The idea that all Filipinos belong to just one ethnic group or race is one of the wrong beliefs we need to fix. The Philippines is a melting pot of different ethnic groups and cultures. Our islands have been home to many groups of people for thousands of years, from the early Austronesian migrants, who are believed to be the ancestors of most Filipinos today, to the later visitors and traders from different parts of Asia and the world. Each of these groups left their mark, adding to the rich tapestry of our people. Today, There are over 100 ethno-linguistic groups in the Philippines. The biggest groups include the Tagalogs, Cebuanos, Ilocanos, Bicolanos, Hiligaynons, also known as Ilonggos, Warais, Kapampangans, and Pangasinenses. Each of these groups has its own unique language, traditions, customs, art, and way of life that make Filipino culture richer as a whole. Besides these major groups, our indigenous peoples, or native communities, also play a very important role. These include the Igorots in the Cordillera region, made up of different tribes like the Ifugao, Kalinga, and Bontoc, who are known for their payao or rice terraces and rich spoken traditions. In Mindanao there are the Lumads, which is a general name for non-Muslim indigenous groups like the Manobo, Bagobo, Tiboli, and Blan. Each one has its own art, music, and beliefs. We also can't forget our Muslim Filipino brothers and sisters who are mostly found in Mindanao, Sulu, and Palawan. They are made up of different ethnic groups like the Maranao, Maguindanaoan, Tausug, Yakan, and Samabajao. Their culture, with deep roots in Islam, has added unique color and richness to our national identity, from their buildings and clothes to their epic stories and dances. Hundreds of years of contact with other peoples have also influenced our heritage and culture. The Chinese, who have long been part of our history as traders, contributed not only to our economy, but also to our food, language, and traditions. Spanish rule for over 300 years led to widespread Christianity and the mixing of races, resulting in Spanish mestizos. American rule, though shorter, introduced the public education system, the English language, and Western ideas of government and culture, which also shaped the modern Filipino. Over time, these influences, along with our native cultures, have mixed together and created a unique Filipino identity, an identity that is always changing and growing. So, Filipinos don't fit into just one mold. We have different skin colors, different face shapes, different beliefs, and different ways of doing things. But even with all these differences, we have one heart that beats for the Philippines. Our differences are not a weakness, but our strength. This is the fourth myth. Busted. Being Filipino is a celebration of diversity. Chapter 6, Myth number 6, Adobo and Lumpia. Are they the only stars of Filipino food? You know, the idea that Filipino food is pretty much just adobo and lumpia. When people abroad talk about Filipino food, two dishes often come to mind first, adobo and lumpia. And it's no surprise because these two are really yummy and famous. But saying our food is just adobo and lumpia is like saying there's only one star in the whole sky. The Filipino kitchen is a whole universe of tastes, smells, and textures just waiting for you to try. Adobo, which can be chicken, pork, or both, cooked in vinegar, soy sauce, garlic, and pepper, is truly our national dish. Every family, every region has its own version. And lumpia, our version of the spring roll, is a favorite appetizer or snack. But this is just the beginning of our food adventure. Are you ready to discover more? Then there's sinigang, a sour soup that many people love. It can be pork sinigang, beef, shrimp, or fish, made sour with tamarind, camellias, guava, or other fruits. Its sourness gives a special kind of comfort, especially on rainy days. Every sip feels like a hug from home. Who wouldn't crave this warm soup with all sorts of vegetables? And we can't forget lechon, a whole pig roasted over charcoal until the skin is crispy and the meat is tender. It's the star of every big feast and celebration. Every bite of its crispy skin is pure happiness. There are also different regional versions like Cebu lechon, known for its flavorful meat. Just the smell of it is enough to make anyone's mouth water. For those who love thick and saucy dishes, there's kare. It's oxtail, tripe, or other meats cooked in a thick peanut sauce, with different vegetables like string beans, eggplant, and banana heart. It's served with shrimp paste or bagoong to balance the taste. A true comfort food that shows how creative Filipinos are in cooking. And who could forget sisig? It comes from Pampanga and is made of chopped pig's face and ears, onions, and chili, usually served on a sizzling plate. The mix of textures and tastes, salty, sour, spicy, and savory, is really addictive. It's perfect as an appetizer or a main dish with hot rice. Every bite is an explosion of flavor. Let's also not forget our pancit or noodles like pancit bihon, Mickey, canton, sotanghon, palabok, and malabon. Each one has its own ingredients and way of being cooked. Pancit is a symbol of long life and is often served on birthdays. And for dessert we have the famous Halo, a colorful dessert with a mix of sweet fruits, beans, jellies, leche flan, ubi jam, ice cream, and shaved ice. The list goes on and on. Laying pinakbet, bicol express, kinalaw, crispy pata, bulalo, and so many kakanin or rice cakes like puto, kutsinta, bibingka, and suman. Every region has special dishes they are proud of. Filipino food is like a mirror, showing our history, culture, and creativity. So the next time someone asks about Filipino food, don't be shy. Share how wide and wonderful our cooking is. That's myth number 6, busted. Filipino food is a fiesta of flavors. Chapter 7. Myth number 7. The Philippines. Too dangerous for visitors? Is the Philippines really too dangerous for visitors? Let's talk about that idea. Safety is always a top concern for anyone who travels. And sadly, sometimes the Philippines gets a bit of a bad reputation, painted as an unsafe place for tourists. This might be because of some negative news stories or things that happened in a few specific areas. But it's really important to look at the big picture and see what's true and what's just a misunderstanding. Like any country in the world, the Philippines has some places where you need to be a little more careful. But to say the whole country is dangerous for tourists? That's a big stretch and not fair. It's not fair to the millions of Filipinos living peacefully, or to the thousands of tourists who visit safely and go home with wonderful memories every single year. Lots of popular tourist spots in the Philippines are known to be safe and peaceful. Take Palawan. It's often called one of the world's most beautiful islands. People love visiting El Nido and Coron there. Boracay, after its big cleanup, is back with its amazing fine white sand. Cebu and Bohol in the Visayas. They offer a mix of beaches, old historical places, and cool nature spots like the Chocolate Hills and those cute little tarsiers. And Siargao, known as the surfing capital of the Philippines, keeps drawing in surfers and beach lovers from all over the world. Even in Luzon, places like Vigan in Ilocos Sur, the Banawe rice terraces, and the diving spots in Batangas are visited all the time by both locals and tourists from other countries. These places have good facilities for tourists, and you'll see police and security around to help keep things safe. The Philippine government, along with the Department of Tourism and the Philippine National Police, are working hard to make sure tourists are safe. There are tourist police in major tourist spots, information centers, and hotlines you can call if you need help or there's an emergency. Local governments are also doing their part to keep their areas safe and orderly. Of course, just like when you travel anywhere in the world, it's still important to be careful and smart. We always advise tourists to do a little research about where they're going, avoid areas that have travel warnings, keep an eye on their belongings, and be cautious with people they don't know. These are just normal travel safety tips you should follow no matter where you go. Most Filipinos are known for being super friendly, helpful, and welcoming to visitors. Filipino hospitality isn't just a slogan, it's a real thing that many tourists get to experience. Lots of visitors from other countries can tell you stories about how kind local people were, helping them out, giving directions, or just smiling and saying hello. These good experiences are what should really stand out. So, while it's good to be aware, don't let fear that isn't based on solid facts stop you from discovering how beautiful the Philippines is. If you plan your trip well, choose well-known destinations, and follow basic safety advice, your visit to the Philippines can be an unforgettable and safe adventure. So there you have it, myth number 7, busted. For the careful traveler, the Philippines is a safe and welcoming destination. Beyond the myths, let's go discover the real Philippines. And that's where our journey ends, as we've looked at 7 common myths about the Philippines and shown you the truth. We talked about so many things, from how the Philippines is made up of thousands of islands to all the different languages we speak. We also talked about our changing weather, the amazing mix of our different groups of people, our growing economy and rich culture, all the super yummy food we have, and finally the truth about how safe it is for everyone who visits. We really hope you learned a lot and feel inspired. The Philippines is a country that's just full of surprises. It's a place where every little spot has a story to tell, and every smile you see is warm and welcoming. More than just the usual stories or wrong ideas you might hear, the real Philippines is lively, has so many interesting sides, and is truly wonderful. What we wanted to do in this episode wasn't just to fix any wrong ideas out there. We also wanted to invite you to see our country in a deeper way with more understanding and love. We really hope we've opened your minds and hearts to the true beauty of the Pearl of the Orient Seas. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Your support means the world to us and helps us create more videos like this. Gap 2, S. Feel free to leave your comments, questions, or even ideas for what we should talk about next down below. We love hearing from you, our amazing viewers. Until next time, goodbye and thanks so much. See you next time.